Growing up and maturing are two very different things. One can be a fully grown adult and still be immature. And on the flip side of that, sometimes kids can mature too quickly. In those cases, as adults, they can end up feeling as though they had missed their own childhoods, as they had spent it pleasing others or taking care of others. Think of Link from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. He literally missed his childhood because he was called to be the hero of Hyrule. And while Princess Zelda and her love and kindness did send him back in time at the end of his quest, part of me feels as though the damage was already done. Not even taking into account the events of Majora's Mask, Link in Ocarina of Time had already lived as an adult. He had already taken on so many responsibilities that a child should never have to face. Sending him back in time, to me, would just be salt in the wound. He wouldn't be able to stay in his home of Kokiri Forest because, by then, he knows that he isn't a Kokiri, he is Hylian. He had met so many friends that would not remember him at all. He had seen such darkness that the idea of not having PTSD is a little laughable. Truly, the only person he could talk to that would understand him now was the companion that went on his adventure with him, Navi the fairy.
Hey! Look! Listen! Hello!
So he leaves to go find her, and the events of Majora's Mask take place. And it is there, in Termina, the mirror world of Hyrule, we find another adult that has his own case of arrested development, Tingle. He is a 35-year-old man that chooses to believe that he is the reincarnation of a fairy. Thus, he dresses flamboyantly and has his own magical words as a catchphrase. Though he has no wings of his own, he uses balloons to fly over the land, and while doing so, he uses his drawing and cartography abilities to create and sell maps of the land to Link, who definitely needs them. Now, as a kid, I too found him weird, unnerving, a little off, but I grew up, I matured, and now I see him in a very different light. For this video, I will only be speaking of Tingle from Majora's Mask, because his appearances in other Zelda games and his own spin-off games kind of turns him into an evil capitalist deviant, and I am just not a fan of where that character development has taken him. Before we go any further, it is important to note that while Japanese Legend of Zelda fans find him cute and charming, American fans absolutely hate him. There is a Japanese term, otaku, which is defined as a young person who is obsessed with particular aspects of popular culture to the detriment of their social skills. Tingle is absolutely an otaku when it comes to fairies, which made me think that Tingle, at least originally, was actually a representation of how Nintendo saw die-hard Zelda fans. Cosplayers, role-players, collectors, what have you. But even the basic bro Zelda fans that ran me off of Zelda forums in my teens for writing articles that dared to call into question the gender identity of Zelda and Sheik, or the sexuality of Link as he seems to be attracted to the princess's male persona, seem to hate Tingle, even though they are the definition of a Zelda otaku, punishing those who question their own personal headcanons of Sheik just being an outfit change. Cosplaying, listening to the soundtracks, writing fanfictions, but they hate Tingle, which has always made me laugh. This video isn't bashing Zelda fans, I myself am one. I cosplay, listen to the soundtracks, and I've even written fanfiction. But I don't hate Tingle. Know why? Because I understand him now. I understand being 35 years old and not feeling at home with your own family. I understand the feeling of not belonging in the reality you're stuck in. I even understand not feeling as if you're human. I wear elf ears, sometimes wings, and sometimes a merman tail. Sometimes I wear makeup and dress like I'm from a fantasy novel. This isn't to make me feel more comfortable in my own skin, but mostly just for fun. And I have to keep my online persona interesting, or you ADHD-ass millennials will change the damn channel. And I get bored wearing normal clothes myself. I'm a writer and an artist. I really don't see the point in living a life that's exactly like everyone else's simply because it's what is expected of me. Not everyone wants a wife or a picket fence and a pretty little house, 2 kids slaving away at a 9 to 5 every day of their life, I'd rather be an elven swordsman writing fantastical adventures and drawing unforgettable characters with my partner and our fur babies, going on our own little adventures. Yes, I am queer, and that has a lot to do with it, but Tingle is not. He is shown as being very heterosexual in his own spin-off game, Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love, which I'm happy about because I really don't want the series' only canon gay character to be one of Nintendo's weirdos. It is important to explain that in Japan, no one believes Tingle to be any sort of queer. In fact, in Japanese culture, it is the masculine, muscular characters like Groose from Skyward Sword that are considered to be gay by the fandom. Link may look like a skinny little gay twink to us, but to them, he is the ultimate Chad. So this,
I'm gay,
I'm afraid, makes as much sense as it is funny, which is not at all. But does Tingle suffer from arrested development like Link? Did he spend his childhood doing exactly what his father wanted to the emotional detriment of himself? Perhaps losing his mother was the driving force that made him realize, hey, life is short, put on the damn spandex. Fly up in a balloon, make some magic words, and tell people you're the reincarnation of a fairy. I, like a lot of people, did spend my childhood and teenage years dressing, acting, being as quote-unquote normal as I could have possibly been. And yes, part of me feels as though I missed out on a lot of experiences because of that, which is a big reason why I'm doing whatever the fuck I want now. But how a lot of normies view me, and how I present myself, is how Tingle's father, and presumably the other residents of Termina, view him. Tingle's father says that being a 35-year-old man, Tingle shouldn't be dressing in such a way, flying around and making maps. But why? Tingle is an adult. He isn't hurting anyone, and he's making money doing what he enjoys. The dude has a career, and from what it looks like, he's making more money than his dad at that rinky-dink little shooting range. Mind your business, Pops. We, as a society, love to make everything about ourselves. People don't like Tingle because he has the big fat nuts to be authentically and unapologetically himself. And a lot of people, well, they just don't. They put on their masks and blend in with the rest of the crowd, because for some reason, people are deathly afraid of being cringe, even though every human being in existence is cringe to someone. I am cringe, I accept that, but you know what? I don't care, because I feel fucking cool. I do not give a shit if my elf ears make you feel weird. Don't fucking look at me then. I'm not going to dim my light for your sensitive ass eyes anymore. You'll be okay. And so will Tingle's asshole of a dad. And honestly, good for Tingle. He seems happy. And that makes me happy too. As a kid, I always thought I would grow up to be Link, a hero, saving maidens, battling evil, and helping others. But that just isn't very realistic, is it? Maidens can save themselves. Evil is within all of us. Everyone's definition of a hero seems to be different, but I can and do help people. But really, I think I grew up to be more like Tingle, being myself, dressing and doing whatever I want, and not giving two shits about what people think of me. And now I know that there's nothing wrong with that.